morning. Good morning to everyone. I am actually going to be recording this for a team in Alabama. So, for those of you in Alabama, thank you so much for being a part of the show here today in what we talk about dealing with working with artificial intelligence, how we can use it to communicate with our clients at a higher level, as well as some of the websites that I use to keep track to see what people are doing, if they're clicking on this stuff that I have out there, as well as how to promote it and push it on Facebook. Does it sound good enough for you, Rosario? Does that sound good enough for you? And then my goal is, Michelle, I got to try to do it in 30 minutes. So I'm going to just get my websites up and running here. Busy morning this morning. Busy morning. Michelle, good morning to you. Michelle, good morning. Chastity, good morning. Cheryl, good morning. For those of you in the Facebook world as well, let me open up my Facebook here so I can say good morning to those people watching on that. And for those that watch the recording later on, and like I said, for those of you in Alabama, I apologize we couldn't do it the first time. I knew Scotty was working through a couple things, but glad we're able to be here today. So, one of the things of my coaching, where is it? There we are, right here. Sorry, I was just okay. Now I got it. I had this Facebook stuff. Um, so I'm excited. We do power plays every Thursday, 10 a.m. If you have questions, stop me. Say, explain this to me, help me out. Where do I do this? How do I do this? Because whenever time I show this to people, Jim, they're always like, damn, I wish I knew this earlier. I wish I knew this beforehand. How many of you in the real estate world specifically? Well, we could do entrepreneurship world too. We could do all people. How many of you do monthly newsletters? How many of you want to do monthly newsletters? How many of you would love to do market reports about the area you live in, but have no time or clue how to even do it? How many of you would love to know that I can teach you all of that in 30 seconds? And you're going to be like, damn, I wish I knew that earlier. Okay. So that is the big thing today. I'm going to be teaching you things of how to do this at a very fast pace. So that way time or won't be an excuse. Okay. And if you put it in your calendar, it shouldn't be an excuse. Right, Robin? Robin has to text me her alarms every single day. So not only am I a real estate coach, but I'm a life coach, and she kept missing out appointments. And I asked her, do you have any police that come and patrol your area where you live in Key West that come and knock on your door and say, let me see your cell phone and see how many alarms you have? I said, do you have any police like that? And she looked at me with four heads, like always. And I'm like, that is correct. See, nobody is going to do that. So I have in my phone about an average per day, at least 12 to 15 alarms that go off. Is it annoying? Not really, because it vibrates and it just allows me to be able to take a look at it. It has the name of where I'm supposed to be. So why is that important? It's because I don't like missing appointments. And that was one of my biggest challenges was missing appointments. So I set alarms. So Robin, she sends me over her alarms every single morning. And guess what? She's pretty efficient now with her time. So we want to be efficient with our time and what we're doing all. And so this artificial intelligence that I'm going to share with you, and for those of you, I double checked and I want to make sure I did residential property reports. Most people, and even in Alabama, I did take a look that we all have it, the residential property reports, because we're going to be really using that and diving into that today. And I'm pretty sure most states have it. So my name's Coach Brock Zevan. I'm a life coach, business coach, real estate agent, and a DAD. And today is called Power Players. And we're going to take the next 23 minutes and I'm going to dive into this. And then I'm going to open up for Q&A. Raise your hands. Tell me anything that you want to tell me. And I will make sure that I answer them for you, as I love being able to help people. As we learned on the Mindset Motivational podcast this morning, it's about pouring into other people and what some of your problems are. I love to solve them. So let's get into it. If you're new to the show, and for those of you that are watching the recording, put it in the chat in the Facebook so that way I know where you're at. We do about a little bit over 100 referrals a year with my investment company that I work with. So you could be in a spot that we could send you a referral over. So make sure you put that in the chat. Tell us where you're calling us from so that way we know where we can send people to. Also, my book in the upper left-hand corner, depending on how your screen is set, whether you're looking at me directly or if you're in the gallery view, in the upper left, you'll see my book, Turning Scripts into Conversations. It is just coming out. So, of course, you got to give the freebies out. So the book is free. I'm giving it out for free right now. Next month, it will be $14.97. But we do ask that you have to pay for shipping, good old shipping. Which is $9.99. So the shipping is the only thing that you have to pay for, but you can scan that QR code there for my book, Turning Scripts into Conversations. Majority of my business is for sale by owners and expireds, and I'm one of those crazy people, Jim, that like those people. I like them. I like talking to them. I don't know why. So, well, how do I follow up with these FISBOs and expired? So this is really what took place, Chastity. All right. What happened is how many of you put a 3 in the chat is maybe you talked to a stranger, maybe you talked to somebody who gave you a referral, maybe you're having a conversation with somebody and you did a really good job the first time, but then you drop the ball because you don't know what to do next. Maybe you're trying to I don't know, what do I text them again? Like somebody asked me what my market valuation is. Somebody asked me about my home. Somebody asked me what my home values are. So how do I do this? Okay. So depending on what company you are with, I'm with Real. And so we use the CRM Lofty. Okay. I've been with EXP, and we were using KV Core at the time. Both of them work this Follow Up Boss. There's a bunch of different CRMs. They all have monthly home valuations that you can do. If you don't know how to do it, just go into the troubleshooting to the questionnaire and say, how do I send out monthly home values? So we send that out to everybody automatically. I'm not going to get into that because that's not the main reason. Most of you probably already know how to do that, but you should set up every person in your database in a monthly report. Okay. If they just bought a house, they are getting the monthly report in the neighborhood that they bought in. Which is typically mostly sellers. And then if they're buying, I find out what area they're buying in, and then I give a market report on what I'm about to share with you here on the residential property report. So without further ado, I'm going to dive into the residential property report. So I'm going to go to screen share here. And here is the residential property report. This is the RPR, we call it for short. This is the dashboard of where it is. I am here in the Lake Norman area of North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina specifically, for those for more of a larger geographic. And so you'll see here, can everybody see my screen? Y'all see the map? We all good? Give me a thumbs up. We do. Thank you. Thank you. So there's a lot of different tools here that people do not even know, have no clue about. Okay. And so we're going to first touch base on creating that market report, that newsletter. Boy, I love to be able to send out a newsletter. I love to be able to put something on social media for people to see that I am a real estate agent. So what we do is we go into research. So for those taking notes, you go to the homepage, you go to research, okay? And you'll see there's a lot of different tools people don't even realize. School searches, neighborhood search, residential market activities, all these different things, even my commercial people, okay? And here, how to research. It even gives you like a call to action, how to help you out with it, okay? So this works for everywhere. So my Alabama people, you can do this too. So you're going to go to research, and then you go to residential market trends. Once you go into residential market trends, let me go to my chat here. Let's see if I got anybody. All right. Jim's first. He's in Saratoga Springs. We're going to do Jim here. Saratoga Springs, New York. I used to live in upstate New York, Binghamton area, taught school in Syracuse. So we're going to use yours, Jim. We're going to give you one right here today. So we're going to do Saratoga Springs. Look at it. It already tells us. Saratoga Springs, New York. We're going to click on it. And it's going to tell us what they got going on here. And how many of you Put a 1 in the chat. How many of you on here get asked the question, what type of market we in? What type of market are we in? Where are we going? What are we seeing? Okay. Well, I don't know about you guys, but we made this pretty simple here at Residential Property Reports. Is they're going to tell you market type. Today we're in a seller's market up there in New York area in the Saratoga Springs. Seller's market. List to sold price 99%. I gotta believe that homes aren't staying on the market too long up there, Jim. Is that fair to say? They're going pretty quick, aren't they? Is it fair to say you also possibly, depending on the price point, you're getting multiple offers? Is it fair to say you're getting some multiple offers? Yes. Okay. See, I don't even live there, and I can give you some ideas based of looking at the data that we have here. Okay. He also lives in a good price point, 650,000. Okay. And he's telling us we got multiple offers at 650. I'm sure the 300,000 to 400,000 go like hotcakes, probably in the coming soon status, just like we used to back in the day in the Charlotte area. Ours has turned a little bit. We are getting more, if people are wondering, we're more hovering closer to a little balanced market, more on the seller side. But here's the thing. So you could take a look at some of the stuff that you have, and you could scroll down. Guys, you'll see here share. Okay. How easy is this? Want to share this on Facebook? Want to share this on LinkedIn? I want to go to more. I want to do just to send a picture. Okay, all? This is very important. If I take this picture, it comes into my computer here, and let me move this over here. Okay. And I now know, see this screen here? I now know this. The conversion of people opening up an email versus opening up a text, which one has a higher conversion? One, would we all say text? Would we all agree to text? Give me a text. They're going to do it. So what we've learned is I like taking these JPEGs and I come over here, right click, and I copy it. And I take this picture and I start sending it to some of my people. I start sending it to people that some FISBOs and expires. They kind of like trying to like figure out what they're going to do. I'm sure they're getting plastered by different people. Maybe I got somebody who said that they wanted to sell, but they said that in January and they're still in the same house. How do I move the needle? Right. So I come in here and I right click this and I say this. Okay. I take that same exact image and I want you guys to write this down. Okay. For those of you in Alabama, you need to write this down too. I want you can write it down however you want, but we no longer are checking in. I want you to check this out. I want you to check this out. Okay. Not checking in. I want you to check this out. I want you to see something that I think is important for you to see. I'm going to give you value on something that I want you to see. I need you to come check this out. Bryce was doing it to me. My 5-year-old was doing it to me earlier this morning. He goes, Dad, just come down here. Just check this out. Check this out. Bryce, what am I checking out? What do I need to check out? Right? So here we are. We're in Saratoga. And you can pick whatever your heart desires. It tells us the breakdown of active listings. Maybe you want to take this exact chart here, and maybe you just want to work on single families. Not a problem at all. And I'm just going to hit apply all to charts. And now I have an active listings of the MLS of exactly what's going on in the Saratoga Springs area. And I can share this on my Facebook by clicking on 2 buttons. Michelle, you better be writing this down because I know Raleigh's pretty crazy up there. I know Raleigh is crazy up there, and I know you want to do more stuff in Raleigh. And look at, holy smokes, Jim, you're telling me that it took me 3 clicks and I got this nice chart here with the data for what we have going on. And I'm then going to share with you how to even get more data. And I could just post this on my Facebook right now. Wait a minute. I also could put this on my story because guess what? Some people like to just look at the pictures. They just like to look at the pictures. They don't want to do anything else, but they were like me. I didn't like to read back in the day, so I just wanted to look at pictures. Okay? They have it all right here. Now, that's not the fun stuff. That's just the tip of the iceberg. All that's just a little bit of little flavor of what I'm about to really jaw drop you here with. Okay, so we're gonna leave this. We're going to get out of here. This is where it gets crazy because you saw the chart. You saw what you could do. You can hit it on Facebook. And maybe you want to take it to the next level, Rosario. Maybe some of these people you tagged me on here in Facebook world, thank you for all those tags. Maybe you wanted to do something and add a little bit more credibility. Okay. So I studied the DISC in the DISC assessment with Tony Robbins and John Maxwell. And I know 62% of the time people are analytical and data driven and they like systematic approaches. Okay. So when I'm talking to people, I'm like, here, let me give you a game plan. This is how we're going to sell your house. Let me break it down for you. And let me tell you the numbers. Oh, wow. Great. And my favorite thing is, do you have any questions? No, you pretty much answered everything. Right. Because I know what they're needing because I've already done a diagnostic internally on their brain. So here's where the fun part gets, Chastity. Here's where it gets, Rosario. So we come into this. Oh, let me say hi to my Facebook people. Yes, in Facebook. Okay. So in Alabama, when you're doing this, okay, we're going to do New York. But here's the thing. Can we still see my screen? We still see create script. We all see create script here. So Jim, this is where it's going to get you excited. You're going to hit create script. And this is when artificial intelligence starts to really take shape. Market trend script writer. How many of you wish you had a script writer? You do now. You do now. You actually have had this script writer. You just didn't realize they were in your pocket. So the script writer is here. And guess what? I can choose my tone. So I'm going to share with you. I'm going to choose my tone. I like having a little conversational. I like conversational. And maybe I'm going to go back to some of the charts when somebody says what type of market we got going on here. But I also got buyers and I got sellers. I don't really know, but I'm going to do both because guess what? I could either do a seller's one or a buyer's one. Let me backtrack to share with you where I really use this in is in expired. So I use this expired because I am reaching out to sellers, but I can do buyers and sellers. So in this case here, when I'm trying to create text messages for my sellers, I go into sellers and I hit social campaign. Now, here's the amazing thing, all. How many of you have a 5-step or a 3-step follow-up process for your sellers? How many of you have it? Anybody have it? If you do, great. If you don't, that's why you're here, because I'm about to share with you the 5-step process. Now, look at 3 to 5, because you never know. The reason why I say that is take a look at the screen here. This says number 1. This says number 2. We got number 3. And we got number 4. Look at this. Look what number 4 says. I'm not going to have anybody read it out loud here. But Michelle, it says, thinking about selling your home in Saratoga Springs. I don't know about you, but that's a great Facebook post. I don't know about you, but that's a great, if you want Arch Agent, okay, we're partnered with Arch Agent, give you free 30 days of FSBOs and expireds. If you want it, put Arch Agent in the chat. I'll get it to you. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. Free 30 days. So I know every expired and for sale by owners thinking about selling. They've proven it to me. They put it online, for crying out loud. So this is a really good This is a really good text message that I could send to all those expireds and FSBOs and text message them this. Okay. For those of you who are like, well, Brock, I don't have enough time for that. Not a problem at all. It's called Hit 'em Up. Hit 'em Up. Go to the Hit 'em Up app. Hit them up. Hit MEM up. Hit 'em Up app. And we mass text it. And it's personalized to them for them engaging because they are thinking about selling their home. And so we share with them this. Look at this. It even already has hashtags. So maybe you might not like hashtags. Well, get rid of it. It doesn't really matter. But here's all your stuff that you have that you can then now hit copy text. I could take this copy text all and I can come right into here. Where is, oh, my Facebook ad is showing this to you. I can come into my Facebook ad. I'm now having myself in double. So let me open this up over here. Facebook. All right. And I could take that same image and let me just do this where I'm going to give Jim, I'm going to show Jim exactly what I would do. Okay. I'm going to go to write something and I'm going to do this market report for Jim in Saratoga. And here are the 3-4 things in Saratoga. Okay. We all seeing that? Now, I'm a big picture guy because I told you everybody likes pictures. Saratoga Springs, New York. And I'm going to come to this and I'm going to click on images. And I'm going to find something in here that maybe downtown Saratoga. I like this picture. I'm going to copy this image. I'm going to go back to my Facebook post. I'm now going to paste the Saratoga nightlife in here. And I might put in the top here, wanting to enjoy the downtown Saratoga Springs lifestyle, been wanting to move or maybe just relocate. Take a look at what we got going on here. And I would take this, and at the very end, I always put down, I said, DM me or text me. And then you've got to make sure you put periods in between your numbers. That way it's a link. That way when they're looking on their cell phone, they can click on it. It becomes an automatic hyperlink because nobody's going to write down this number. Nobody does that anymore. Okay. They don't do that. So we got to be very simple because they're probably doing it illegally. And I know in New York, you're not even supposed to be on your cell phone. Okay. But they're going to try it when they're at a red light or in traffic, and they can click on it to be able to call you instantaneously. Okay. So this is something all that you can use to be able to push yourself to be able to get these reports out. Okay. I'm going to come back to the main stage here. Questions on that? I'm going to review it really quickly, but doesn't that help you out in your area to be able to create a quick market report on what you got going on? Now, put a 4 in the chat if you want something else. Put a 4 in the chat if you want one more thing. Why don't we give you 2 more? Put a 4 in the chat if that's what you want. My Alabama people, you have no choice. You have no choice. I'm going to give it to you anyways. So let me go back to I'm going to go back to this. Okay. You guys see my screen? We're going to go back to this. If I want to send it by email, not a problem at all. Send by email. You just click on the button and it just tells you exactly what the email is, copy, paste, and you're off to the races sending this over to them. Now, say for instance, over here, we want to change something up and we want to create the script and we want to do analytical stuff. Maybe you want to make it really professional. Maybe you got some high C people. Okay, B's and C's. You can go to analyze metrics, and it's going to give me a whole new thing, Rosario, a whole new thing, Chastity, of everything that I want to be able to share about the data. Okay, Michelle's very detail oriented. She's a numbers person. Okay, the month supply inventory, the 12-month supply of inventory, the median days on the market, the list to sold percentage, lastly, median sold price. And then you got in conclusion. I take a lot of this in conclusion and I create my own little words sometimes. And you can come in to copy at the very end. I know I'm going fast, so you can watch the recording later, but I go in conclusion and then I go into Chat GPT. I click on Chat GPT. Okay. And then in the messaging, I say act. This is important. Act as a real estate. I should say acting. Sorry. Acting as a real estate agent. Make the following concept engaging for social media posts. Okay. I take this. I post whatever that copy paste was. Post 1 for buyers, post 2 for sellers. You seeing how fast this all works, everybody? You seeing how crazy this is? All right. And guys, I have 5 posts that I can just copy paste and start to use. Okay. Put a 5 in the chat as that was something pretty crazy and how fast that was. Put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat. So you see that. That's pretty crazy stuff by just taking that. Now, last but not least, I'm going to share with you the residential property report and how I send it out to people. So I come into here and I type in an address and I'm just going to use one here. We're going to use one. Rosario's in Texas. So here's one of our investment properties we are working with on innovation. And so here's the property. And maybe this is a client that I'm working with. Maybe this is a buyer. Maybe this is a seller. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to share with you the key ingredient here. In this residential property report, I clicked on the put in the location, and now I'm going to come over here, right here, Jim, and I'm going to hit create report. In the create report, Michelle, I'm going to select the report mini property report. If you haven't set up your profile, you need to make sure. Guess how easy that is? Edit profile. You click on your edit profile and it'll make you look like a rock star. So you do your edit profile. If you're bored this afternoon, like, what should I do? Go to RPR and update your profile. Now, I'm going to come into here. I'm going to hit mini property reports. If I hit mini property reports, I then hit run report. While this report is running, I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to tell you all that you need to get this website called tinyurl.com. Tinyurl.com. All right. In the tinyurl.com, you will see on the left-hand side here, you'll see 46 clicks, 3 clicks, 4 clicks, 3 clicks, 3 clicks, 71 clicks, 5 clicks, 11 clicks. Okay. This is how I keep track to see if my stuff is valuable, to see if people are actually clicking on it, to see if people are really just either giving me the middle finger or be like, wow, this stuff's really good. I also have strangers that I'm talking to. So sometimes I need to see if that person I texted is actually opening up my text message, because it's frustrating wasting my time. So when I come back to my RPR, it notified me I can download my report. Here is my report. Okay, I'll make it a little smaller so we can see the full page, right? Looks pretty impressive. It's got my profile. It's got my image. It's got my contact information. It's got my assistants. It's got my websites. It's how to get in touch with me. And then here's the property. And then it tells you your value. So this is my CRMs I give a lot of people. It tells them what I got, what they have with their property, all the insides, all the information. Okay. Here's the important stuff. I right click up, I left click on the address. I right click and I hit copy. I now come back to my make tiny URL and I create tiny URL and I come into here, Rosario, and I paste it right into it. And then I click on shorten URL. Now I take this shorten URL. If it ever decides to come in to shorten it, I will then take this shorten URL. I do all my text messaging through my phone, through my computer. So my computer's attached to my phone. If you have a Droid, you can do it. Just go into YouTube and say, how do I create messaging? How do I do text messages through my computer? Go to YouTube, it'll tell you. If you have an Apple phone and an Apple computer, it's very easy. They talk to each other. If you have an Apple phone and a Microsoft computer, you just got to go to YouTube. How do I have my Apple phone do text messaging through my computer? I do all this through my computer. So then that way I can go into my text messages and I can immediately go into, let's see, I was just texting somebody here. I can easily come into, I'll share with you. So here's my texting. Where'd it go? It's popping up. I don't know where it disappeared. Why are you disappearing me on me text messages? But I would take this URL while that's working up here. I come in here, I copy this URL because I don't want this huge thing. I don't want this huge annoying, all this jargon on here. So then I come into here and my text messages will open up hopefully at some point so I could share this to you. All right. As you can see, I have a lot of text messages. So let me go to, I'm just going to text message Michelle since I have, Michelle's information in here. Michelle O coaching. And then I come into here and I send this to her and she would get she would get a little blurb that I would share with her. But I would, this right here will pop up on that link. Why is that important? Is because I know people will open up that and then I will come into here. Michelle, if you can actually, if you get that link, did you get that link, Michelle? And you see that report? Open up that report. Click on that link for me. Let's see here. And we're going to come in here and we're going to refresh this. Oh my goodness, one click. And she already clicked it. There it is, the report. She clicked on it already. It happens that fast. And guess what? I know that for sale by owner, that person's now opened it up. And so I will engage just like I knew that they were opening up, but they don't know that I'm opening it up. And so I just engage with them and I say, what do you think about that report? See, and they're looking at it. I know they saw it, so I can say with confidence, I can text them that. Okay. And so it'll keep track. Now, guys, this is how crazy it is. Some people will click on that 3 to 4 times. And what does that mean? That means they probably shared it with their significant other. Take a look at this. Okay. Or they closed it down, they reopened it up again. So anytime I've had some people open up 7 times within like 7 minutes. Okay. Do you think I got somebody who's hot and heavy, ready to rock and roll? My conversation, my confidence goes up. I'm not too sure if you've been able to see this report, but I wanted to share with you some more information. And I might find some more data from the residential property report that talks about the market, because I know they've already looked at it 6 or 7 times. So I know that they're going to continue to look at it. And what am I doing? I'm not asking for business. I'm giving them value. And that is how my conversion gets over 90%, is because I don't have to ask for business. I attract business because I'm giving them value. I'm not nagging. All right. So this right here, all going into this type of stuff using tiny URL. Now this is to get this to shorten the URLs does not cost any money, but to be able to see if they click on it does cost $14.99 a month. Just to let you know, I don't get any money off of it. I just telling you that's what it costs. So that way you're like, hey, never told us it costs money. But yes, that costs money. Residential property report does not cost any money. All this stuff right here. So in conclusion, and then I'll open up for any Q&A or any ahas. You come to your home screen. You go to research. You hit residential market trends. You put in whatever area you are in. This is my area here in Cornelius. Okay. You'll see here, it's still, it's gone up. The seller's market has gone up a little bit. It was more on this side here. This tells us a little bit about what we got going on. We come into here. I change it to single family because I work more in the single families than I do townhomes. And then I hit create script. And all of a sudden I'm here doing professional buyers, sellers. There's also create video script. Maybe you're a video person. Maybe you want to do more videos. It'll tell you what to say, how to say it, what to do, and everything else like that. And then you also have your reports, your residential property reports. I use mini reports for all mine. You can come into here. Let's see. We'll just here's one in Sunset Beach, somebody I'm working with. Okay. And you copy paste this. You come into your make tiny URL. You create the tiny URL. You enter it here. You hit shorten the URL, and then you copy it, and then you're off to the running. Okay. 6 minutes ago, looks like Michelle has clicked on it a couple more times. She's clicked on it a couple more times. Way to go, Michelle. So that is what I got for us here today. That is what I use to help engage with people to be able to do my market reports. Let's review what I said at the objectives. Market reports, how to do newsletters, how to send out value, creating text message content, 4 to 5 different steps, 4 to 5 different follow-ups that you have, as well as creating social media content there. So I'm going to open up my Facebook to see if anybody's got any questions in the Facebook world. I'm going to open it up here. Does anybody have any questions? As you know my rule, it's either you got to have at least one question or one takeaway before we're allowed to leave today. So does anybody got anything in the Zoom world, since you guys can talk, while I go look in the Facebook world to see if I got any comments in there?
Brock, I did not know. I feel so stupid. I did not know the phone number you put a dot between the numbers to make it a hyperlink. I had no idea.
Yes, you need to do that in your emails all too. In your email signatures, you got, like, a lot of people put it like in what it's called in a JPEG. they just like attach a picture in their email signature, nobody can call you. They can't, they will reduce the chances of being called. That is why my Facebook, everything is hyperlinked. You want to, if you're trying to do an email signature that has pictures and everything else, you want to type in HTTML email signatures, and you want to create an HTML email signature, and it'll make everything hyperlink. So when you click on my logos of Facebook, LinkedIn, and everything else, it'll go directly to that. Because if not, JPEG, it will not take it. Anybody else? I got one more, a question or a takeaway, before we get to leave.
Brock, I'm not a realtor, but this is so valuable to a lot of realtors that I'm around with. So I'll be sharing that with them because it stands out. You stand out from the rest, definitely.
So, Rosario, I appreciate you being on here. I know you do a lot of credit repair. So, for real estate agents out there, she's really good. If you got a client that's struggling because they don't have good credit, you need to reach out to Rosario on the screen. And Rosario, what you need to do is for people, I would do posts where you're like trying to figure out, how many of you want to do a newsletter? How many of you would like to do a market report for your area? I have some content for you that could help you do this in less than 2 minutes. And you can give value to people. Go into the Facebook page, invite them to it, or share the link with it, to be able to help other realtors out. Okay. So not only could you help them out with their credit repair, right? You've helped out several with me where like they don't have the credit. Listen, you need to go talk to Rosario. Let's work on the problem today, not when you really want to buy a house, because I won't be able to do it then. All right. So, and it's really for anybody. You personally, you're my coach too for that. You personally work with me. So, great stuff. Thank you for that. Anybody else before we leave? Any questions, comments? All right. Hopefully you got some good use out of today. If I can help you in the future, let me know. I do coaching. I got my book. Anything is there. Anywhere from life coaching, business coaching, team coaching, financial coaching, whatever it is that you need, let me know. Be more than happy to help you. Love for you to get the book. Like I said, Turning Scripts into Conversations, given out to you for free. We've been working on this now for about 9 months. And let me just tell you, writing a book is really not as much fun as I thought it was going to be. And it's a lot more expensive. But it's very cool being able to say I'd authored a book and to be able to help so many people, being able to talk to strangers, not only in your real estate world, but also in your personal life, of just asking more questions, listening to understand, not to respond. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. I think us in society do it the other way. We want to tell everybody our own opinion and our thoughts before we even listen to people. So, guys, I appreciate you all. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for being on here. For those of you in Alabama watching, thank you so much for this opportunity to help you. If I can help you grow in any type of coaching real estate opportunity, reach out to Scotty. And if you want that book, Scotty's paying for everything for you, those in Alabama. He's paying even for your shipping and handling. So click the link below to get that. Guys, I appreciate you all. God bless you. We'll be back next Thursday at 10 a.m. for Power Players. Tell some people to come join us. And for those watching the recording, have a great day. I'll read the chats after. Bye, all.